Hey, what's up, guys? It's Benji here and Anthony, and thank you for joining us at the B.A.R today. So we're gonna go over a movie today, one of Anthony's favorites.
We're going to be reviewing Prisoners, which came out in 2013. It was directed by Denis Villeneuve, and this is one of my top 10, if not top 5 movies. Just the acting is superb to me. The cinematography, the set design, the lighting, especially the way this film was lit, is very atmospheric. It has a lot to do with weather affecting moods. But let's get into the plot.
So, heads up, this is a spoiler review. So, just a heads up, spoiler alert. It is a 2013 movie, so if you haven't seen it, I recommend going to watch it. You know, it's a more serious movie, so it's a little different from what we've done in the past. But overall, I think it was a good movie. So yeah, let's talk about, like you said, the plot.
So pretty much, this movie it starts off a little religious. There's like a Our Father scene, and it's a father and son. They're shooting a deer, and it goes into Thanksgiving weekend. It's about two groups of families that are like really close friends. It's Keller Dover. Hugh Jackman is the main protagonist of this. Then it goes into his wife Grace. There's Frank and Nancy Birch, who's played by Terrence Howard of Empire fame, and Viola Davis, which we just recently saw on Suicide Squad. Very different Viola Davis. To me, she's an excellent actress. She's always brings like clarity, and she's precise in the way that she acts. She's very memorable. You'll always remember her when she's in a scene. So it's Thanksgiving weekend. They come over, everyone gets together, and it's just normal family getting together. They're drinking, they're eating, the kids are playing, the teenagers are bored, and at one point, it's the meal's over. They bring out a trombone or a saxophone. No, it's a trumpet.
A trumpet, yeah. They play the trumpet.
So the trumpet. Frank and Nancy are like trying to impress Keller and Grace. And the little girls are like, hey, can we go to the house? Which, that right there alone, like, who would let their children go, like, a couple blocks down to be alone in a house? I wouldn't do that.
Which is kind of, I think that's the reason I personally kind of found this movie a little, not fake, but the acting was a little hard, was because they did tell him, oh, yeah, go tell your brother. But as a parent, personally, I'm not a father, so I don't know how this to do, but I would tell, like, I would make sure my youngest daughter
that I saw them leaving,
go
right?
Tell his older brother, take us to the house.
Okay.
So, they, like you're saying, they go, they're looking for them.
And time goes by as Thanksgiving. We all know how Thanksgiving is. You eat, you get lazy, there's TV, there's dessert. And then at one point, they start looking for the girls. So they're like, where are the girls? Where are the girls? So it starts raining, they go outside and they start hunting. Previous to this, there was like a ominous scene where the girls are playing on an RV that's close by.
Yeah, I think they have the whistle, that's what they were gonna go get. They were going to
there's like a little
which
whistle.
is a big part of the movie overall. Yeah. So they're outside, they're looking for the daughters, and they can't find them. They're just disappeared. But the one key factor that they kind of noticed was an RV. There was an RV in front of the house. So as the movie goes along, they're starting to find out, and this is where my favorite part of the movie, and my favorite actor of the movie comes in, which is Detective Loki, which is a funny play on words name, I think, which is really good because of the Loki, the god
of
mischief. The scene itself was beautiful. It's him on lonely Thanksgiving night in like a Chinese restaurant, I believe.
No friends, no family.
Nobody around, and it's just.
So it sets the mood. It shows you what kind of person you're dealing with.
Exactly,
right?
And it's to me like he's kind of funny because he's kind of flirting with the waitress, bringing up some stuff, and then that's when they're looking for the RV. They call him. He finds the RV with Alex, I believe his name is, which is Paul Dano, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Really great actor from Looper, right?
Yeah, great actor. I feel like those type of actors, they have that face of, sadly, like I was saying, like some actors just have that natural look that they're either villains or they're crazy people. You know what I mean? Like they're just good at those scenes.
Yeah.
So he finds them in the RV. They try to get him out. He crashes it in, which it looks like he was trying to commit suicide in my eyes. He was.
I thought he was trying to get away, and in the stress he crashed into.
Yeah, so it was kind of weird because he backed up, stopped, and then went forward. I think that's why I felt like, and then the way the tree kind of came at him, it looked like he was trying to get it to come at him. So it goes into the scene.
So the movie progresses, and it's like a slow burning movie. This movie's around 2 hours and a half. But you need it. This is one of those movies you can't complain about the length because you need the build up. You need the disintegration. Actually, you start seeing good people turning bad. Go ahead.
Oh no, it was a good example of that. Good people turning bad. It was like Hugh Jackman at one point. As a father, I feel like he felt this was something he he knew Alex was it. He always blamed him. They wanted to charge him, but they couldn't. They had nothing on the kid, you know. So he kidnaps him. You know, he finds him. He was choking the dog. You know, which is crazy.
Okay, so the thing about Alex Jones is that he's portrayed as a person who is mentally slow in the sense that he's like the capability of a 10-year-old, right?
Yeah, that's what he says.
So he's like the body of maybe a 20-year-old, 18-year-old?
Yeah, ish, yeah.
Okay, so there's, we start getting to see the people. We start seeing that, you know, in the beginning, Keller was like a very religious man. He has a cross. I don't know if you picked this up, but Detective Loki has a tattoo of a cross.
I was trying to see all of his tattoos.
And Keller has a cross. So he's a religious man. He's a carpenter. So there's kind of like a Jesus
I
thing.
see. Okay, yeah.
All right. And so to me, it just shows that here are two people that are tied somehow through religion. And religion is a thread throughout this movie. So you get to see Loki, who's a lone person, loner type of person with no family and friends, who's very much married to his job. And then you have Keller, who's like this great guy. He's a good father. He provides for his family. And then it starts just disintegrating because time goes by. And they think that Alex is the killer, but then we find out that there's no evidence in the RV.
So then with that, and then what happens is, you know, Keller kidnaps Alex, and he starts torturing him in pretty crazy ways, punching him for days. He actually made a torture device, and that's crazy to me because, like you said, he's a religious man. And he puts him in this in a shower, blocks it off to a point where no light, no water comes in, with just a small hole to breathe out of. Mm-hmm. And the water was either scorching hot or freezing cold, which is crazy. And they were torturing him, and the kid just didn't know what to say. And throughout the movie,
but do you think he knew what he was saying? Like, do you know that he just hiding? He didn't want to reveal who the killer was, or was he just so stunned by what was happening?
I think it was not only stunned, but I think he wasn't all there. Because as we later find out, you know, they also had another man that they thought it was it, which was what was his name, Bob, which was the first kid that was kidnapped. And in that situation, they kind of made him feel like a copycat killer. But it wasn't. He was just kind of mimicking over what they did to him, kind of thing.
I wanna bring up something that happened to me about like maybe 10 years ago. I did a cross-country trip. And as I left California and started getting into like Oklahoma or like even like New Mexico or Alabama, things like that, there was this ominous feel as the sun set. Like, you know what? People think that LA has a lot of crazy killers or there's like a lot of, you know, druggies. But as I got into the interstates of the United States, it got like creepier and creepier. Mm. And for me, this movie is telling you that, hey, here's suburbia, here's some nice families, but there's still some dark characters in there. Right?
Which it's anywhere.
Like Bob, like Alex, like later on we realize that not all the people that you think are good are good.
Exactly, you know, and you see that when you see that in Bob, like you find out later on in the story, he was actually one of the persons that got kidnapped first of all. Mm-hmm. So it goes
and he got to escape.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like the issue with this movie is there's a lot of things that you really need to go and see and notice. You know, there was, you know, Detective Loki was interviewing pedophiles, and you found out there was a father that was a pedophile,
yes,
and he had a dead body in his
literally underneath his house.
But at the same time, you know, in that sense, you know, the religion, good or bad, also talking about how this father, you know, raped little kids, mm-hmm, and he's trying to make up for his sins by murdering someone that killed 16 other kids.
Right.
Which is like, who do you believe? But that all ties into the story, because at the end, the big twist is it was Alex's aunt this whole time. It was
Alex was a kid who was kidnapped, who just ended up turning into an adult.
Yeah, so you think that this aunt's very calm, very not
just your neighbor, the very nice lady who lives 2 blocks down.
But it kind of made sense at the end. You kind of noticed everything kind of blending in together. You know, the pendant, the mazes that Bob was drawing around, the RV, the little toy that they had, everything. And Loki noticed it, and I think that's why I love the movie, because this guy was a great detective. Every little thing that he noticed, he picked up, he read it. He was like, you know what? This just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. How is this not all connected? It just doesn't make sense.
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
For me, the movie title Prisoners is very spot on. It's very like, I feel like Keller is a prisoner of his situation.
It's a play on words.
It's a play on words.
Yeah.
His wife is like, for the rest of the movie, is in bed, drugged, like asleep. She doesn't want to handle reality, so she becomes a prisoner of the situation, right?
The brother's a prisoner. I mean, the son is a prisoner to his dad because he can't act like a kid, but he's trying to be a man for his father, you know? Mm-hmm. Alex is a prisoner because he was drugged. I think he was drugged so much.
Correct.
He was hurt so much that he didn't know what to think. Bob was a prisoner.
So my question to you is, what is Detective Loki? What is he a prisoner to? Do you?
That's the thing. I don't think they explain it. But the thing is, I think he's a prisoner of feelings. As a detective, as the cases that he takes,
You said you felt that he didn't want to.
He can't get too
right?
attached.
Mm-hmm.
But at one point, I feel like he broke that, and he did get attached to a point where he cared for the when he was driving down the freeway with the blood.
Maybe he was his own prisoner by pushing people away,
Yeah,
by not getting connected to other people.
Because you notice it, and I feel like that's a good scene. Like to me, I think that's what made the movie overall. Like it was the cinematography, the scenes from the back, the driving
acting,
scene,
the cast.
Which at the same time, the acting. One of the issues with me, like it's hard to find serious movies good for me personally. Like that's just something I don't get. And the reason why is because I feel like sometimes an actor has to over dramatize feelings,
right?
And I feel like Hugh Jackman did that a lot, and I think that's why
you didn't care for him, right?
I understood it. I get it. I understand his pain. Like I don't understand it personally, but I understand where he would come from. And the problem.
By the way, I would do that. I would totally grab that guy, put him in some dungeon, and beat the crap out of him because my child.
I agree that
her life is at stake. Yeah.
I agree that. I just feel like proven into innocent or proven guilty personally.
I'm
at
too
the same
emotional
time,
for that. I would just.
At the same time, I don't know how I would feel just because I don't have kids, so I don't know in that situation.
Right.
It's something where I would like for my friends. I would like some of my closest friends. I would go out of my way for them, but. Would I murder someone? I don't know. Which it probably
torture.
Yeah, it was something where it's a little crazy. But overall, like this movie, what made the movie was Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he made the movie for me. I think that it's a spot on type of character that I felt like I was at one point. I felt like I was. I sometimes zone people out just because it makes me feel like I cannot bring people into this life kind of thing. And and also like talking about the ending. Overall like. Just the way it ended, Hugh Jackman gets trapped by the aunt. He puts him in the thing. Hugh Jackman finds the whistle. They find the daughter. They kill the aunt. Everything goes through, and at the end, Hugh Jackman is stuck in the aunt's lot, and Jake Gyllenhaal's trying to find clues or trying to like what's going on, and he hears the whistle.
Right.
But it's also a mindset of like, is he hearing it? Is he imagining it? Is it something that came up earlier?
And the movie ends this way.
Yeah.
And I like that it makes you think. I like when you walk away from a movie and you're still thinking about it an hour or two there.
Yeah.
Or a day or two there.
Yeah, which is good. I don't like leaving with too many questions. I think that's another reason why I gave it the score that we're going to talk about. But overall, like, I think it was a good movie. And, I haven't seen it before. It's hard. I don't really... I know we're doing movie reviews, but it's hard to me to see certain movies. I just can't put it into it. But
and that's what I like.
But I
love
see
movies like Sausage Party. We just did Sausage Party, which is the complete opposite of this movie.
Yeah, and it was a good movie. I personally loved it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. And the reason why was because Jake Gyllenhaal, the cinematography was beautiful. I love recording. I love taking photos. And to me, that was just beautiful. The scenes were great. When you saw the little eye in the darkness, like that was great to me. And it was simple stuff like that is what I love about movies, I
agree.
What do you give it? What's your favorite movie?
I give it 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Only because the atmosphere that it created, the ensemble cast, the way it ends, how it leaves you thinking. I think it's an excellent film.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Benji here and Anthony, and again, thank you for joining us at TheB.A.R for the Prisoner review. Now, if you've seen the movie or are about to watch it, in the comments down below, let us know what you guys thought about the movie.
Join us next week when we'll be reviewing Don't Breathe, a new thriller that just came out, starring Jane Levy and Stephen Lang.
Now remember guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for joining us at TheB.A.R again, and have a good one.